And here, what we're going to do is we're going to first import the DWG, and then we're going to organize our model before we actually start building. Okay? I would suggest that you have your window palettes open here. If you look at window, you should have your layers. Ultimately, you should have your styles and your scenes and your entity info visible. Okay, you could just go here to Windows. Here you can see my layers. Right now I just have layer 0. Okay, I'm going to create a new layer here called $xref. Alright, now when I import the DWG, I'm not actually referencing it. I'm making a copy and dropping it into this file. I just like to call it that for this layer. Okay, you could call it DWG if you like. Okay, just something. So what we're going to do is we can make this layer active, and we're going to import the AutoCAD file and make sure it's on this layer. We're also going to make sure that the entire AutoCAD file is one single component. Okay, so this is how we'll proceed. I'll come over here to File, Import, navigate to the location where you saved the file. Also, if you're there and you can't see it, you also have to take a look at Files of Type right here and make sure you set it to DWG. Once you see the file there, select it. Just single click to select. The next thing that you'll do is check out your options. Always check out those options. What you want to make sure of here is you're going to check merge coplanar faces and orient faces consistently. You're also going to take a look at scale there, and your units are going to be inches, and you're going to preserve the drawing origin. So just what you see here, make sure you check those settings. When you click OK and then you start the import, click Open, and what you'll see here is a progress window that should tell you whether or not it was successful. So just give it a minute or so. It has to translate the information, but you should see the drawing information as well as the results. Okay, so here with the results you can see all the layers that were imported, the number of blocks, and the other entities. And once you close this, then as you zoom out, you'll be able to see your drawing information. Okay, now that we have it in here, let's review the information. If I select any part of the model, right, you can see it's just selecting individual lines. Now, this could be problematic, but what we want to do here is we want to make sure that this is a component. Okay, so what I can do here is this: select everything that I see here, and then right click somewhere over the model, and then make it a component. And I'll call this DWG, something like that. Also, make sure that you replace the selection with component. So what you'll see right now is this. Let's create the component. And when you take a look at the entity info right now, you can see that this object right here is called DWG, and it's on the layer DWG. And what we want to be able to do with this is like this. You'll notice I'll switch to layer 0, but what you'll notice here is if I turn off the DWG layer, it all goes away. However, if I turn it back on and then I toggle the visibility of these layers, then I can control individual pieces of information of the model, or actually of the DWG file, right? Now, as we proceed, okay, we're going to do all our modeling on layer 0. But before we do that, let's take a look. Now that we have this as a single object, okay, you can see that it's at 0, 0, 0, right? It's right at the origin. And what we want to be able to do is use this floor plan to both model the walls and the roof, as well as the floor and the porch. So let's bring this up to the rough floor elevation level, and that's going to be 4 feet above 0. And the easiest way to do that is simply select this component, use the move tool. You can pick a point out aside from the model. Now, as we move up, notice the blue axis. Okay, on the blue axis, if you hold shift, that'll constrain it. And then if you look at the bottom right corner there where you see the value control box, you could simply type in 48 or 4 feet. And when I hit enter, now that model, okay, is 4 feet above the origin. Now, if I right click over the component, I can lock it. So what you'll see is, here's the DWG, it's on its own layer, and I can easily turn on and off that layer to reveal just what I have as a model, okay? Now we're ready to start modeling. What I would do here is actually save this file before you continue. Okay, we just give it a name and a location here.